Right now on 7 News at 6, a former school employee is arrested, accused of tossing a child on the ground during a fight at school. We'll bring you the very latest details. Also on the way at 6, the city of Greenville is facing a wrongful death lawsuit. We're hearing from attorneys on both sides in a story you'll see only on 7. And later we'll take you to the unveiling of Billy Graham's statue in the nation's capital. More on the civil rights activist's legacy. Thanks for joining us tonight. We do have breaking news to begin tonight. We are working to get you more information about this crash that has sent a firefighter to the hospital. This has happened in Spartanburg County. We want to take you live to the scene right now, give you a live look at what's going on. EMS, okay, we don't have the live shot, but we do have some pictures from the scene, and EMS is telling us this happened at Highway 146, just off of I-26. This is on Cross Anchor Road. We're told a firefighter was responding to an emergency call when the fire truck collided with a truck. EMS says the firefighter has been taken to the hospital. We are told the firefighter is expected to be okay. As you can imagine, the story is still developing. So stay with 7 News tonight. We'll continue to update you on the very latest. In a breaking news update, a man has been charged with murder after a woman was shot and killed in Easley on Tuesday. The police in Easley say Thomas King turned himself in today. The Pickens County coroner says 24-year-old Kaviza Brown died at a home on the corner of West B and West C Avenues. King is also charged with commission of a violent crime while out on bond and a weapons charge. He is awaiting a bond hearing.
Now, first look at your weather. It was warmer today with plenty of sunshine. We're still in the low to mid 80s right now across the upstate of northeastern Georgia with some mid 70s in the mountains. And we're going to be quiet this evening. Fair skies early on. After sunset, we fall through the 70s into the 60s. We wake up to lower 60s in the upstate, mid 50s, and some fog in the mountains. Do look for increased cloud cover toward daybreak. That's ahead of our next storm system, which is still way out to our west, but it is going to start to cloud us up going into tomorrow morning. And by late morning and early afternoon, we should start to see some light rain showers out of that, with more rain coming in along this warm front. Some of that could be heavier going into Friday night, early Saturday morning, with a couple other waves of showers and perhaps some thunder working through the day on Saturday. So as a result, Friday and Saturday, both weather impact days. Locally, heavy rain will be possible if you get caught under some of those heavier storms. And on Saturday in particular, and especially in the afternoon, we may have to be on the lookout for 1 or 2 stronger storms with some gusty wind. We'll have a closer look at that coming up.
All right, thanks, Dan. A breaking news update now. A former Greenville County Schools employee is accused of throwing a 5th grade student onto the ground. Deputies say it happened at Ellen Woodside Elementary School. We're told that Peyton Ivy was trying to break up a group of students in the bathroom. Ivy turned himself in this morning and is charged with cruelty to children. He's being held in the Greenville County Jail, awaiting a bond hearing that is set for tonight. A breaking news update. 3 men were arrested in connection to an apartment complex shooting that happened in Cherokee County. Deputies say they were called to Overbrook Drive in Gaffney last month. Investigators say the suspects got out of a black car and started shooting. We're told during that gunfire, one of the suspects was shot and later showed up at the hospital. Deputies say they arrested Kevin Borders when he left that hospital on April 27th. Now, here's the new developments. The other 2 suspects, Dorico Smith and Cornelius Mayberry Jr., were taken into custody this morning. Deputies say Smith was found in Montgomery, Alabama, and is now waiting to be extradited back to Cherokee County. All 3 suspects face multiple charges, including attempted murder. Now to a lawsuit against the city of Greenville that was dismissed after a man was shot and killed at a bar downtown. Our Taylor Farmer was in the courtroom today. Here's a story you'll see only on 7.
A man was shot and killed here at the Red at 28th bar in Greenville last November. His family filed a lawsuit against the bar, its owner, the building's owner, and the city of Greenville.
Over a 3.5-year period, you had shootings, assaults and batteries, stabbings, other disturbances that spilled out onto Pendleton Street, and there's nary a citation.
In court Thursday, the city of Greenville made a motion to dismiss the wrongful death lawsuit against them, stating even though 38-year-old Keon Robinson was shot and killed at a Greenville bar, the city as a governmental entity owes no duty to any individual.
Governmental entities do not owe a generalized duty to the public writ large to enforce statutes or codes or ordinances.
The family's attorney argued the city did have a duty to uphold.
The city had an obligation to protect and serve, which I believe was at one time written across the door of the police units. They definitely failed to do that.
The lawsuit alleges the bar was in violation of several city codes and ordinances and that the city was grossly negligent in its failure to close the bar. The lawsuit states the city continued to collect hospitality tax revenue even though the bar's liquor liability coverage had lapsed and they did not have a license for hookah tobacco.
Your Honor, I'm holding roughly 227 pages of incident reports dating all the way back to 2020 when this establishment opened.
The lawsuit also argues that Greenville police were called to a number of incidents at that location, nearly a dozen within the 3 months leading up to the shooting.
Your Honor, the argument that if you had closed a place down before shooting occurred, the shooting wouldn't have happened would apply in 100% of shootings that occur outside the home. You could always make that argument.
While the judge granted the city's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, Robinson's mother says she will not give up.
I just want justice for my son, and I want them to be accountable for not doing what they were supposed to do.
After the judge granted the city's motion to dismiss, he said the plaintiff has 30 days to add more specific language and refile the lawsuit, which the attorney for this case says he will do. In Greenville, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
And the Red at 28th Bar on Pendleton Street has been closed since the shooting. Now to an update from 7 News on an upstate canine that is now, look, up and walking around after going through a stabbing earlier this week. 7 News originally reported to you that the canine, Mikey, was stabbed while Greenville County deputies were trying to serve a warrant. Well, now you can see Mikey is walking with his handler, video released by the sheriff's office, and we're happy to see it. Families torn apart when somebody dies from a drug overdose. For the first time in a long time, we can tell you the deaths are declining. The new CDC numbers show the first decline since 2018. Here's Ariana Meadows to show you what's making a difference.
The Anderson County Coroner's Office says there is a decrease in accidental drug overdose deaths. Last year there were 89. There have been 18 so far this year.
The coroner says Narcan is the biggest factor saving lives in drug overdoses. Even though drug overdose deaths are declining, they say the work is not over yet. Throughout the year, we're told law enforcement agencies and other community partners have worked to spread awareness about the dangers of drugs, providing free Narcan kits and CPR training.
The areas now that we need to be focusing on is how we can provide access to those that are uninsured or underinsured to get the health care that they need to get off these drugs. These addictions are very powerful, and people that I talk to that have addiction problems say that, you know, the only thing that gives them relief is taking the drug again.
Officials say there are free Narcan kits available at the Anderson County Coroner's Office. In Anderson County, Ariana Meadows, 7 News.
Federal health officials released this provisional data, and the final report is still to come. The coroner's office says they received a $45,000 grant from the opioid settlement so they can talk with schools, organizations, and speak at community events trying to spread the awareness. 7 News is your local election headquarters, and 2 Republicans hoping to be in the 2025 Spartanburg County Sheriff are sharing their ideas ahead of the election. Sheriff Chuck Wright and his challenger, former Spartanburg Deputy Nick Duncan, spoke at a candidate forum yesterday at the Duncan Event Center. Duncan wants to unseat the 20-year incumbent sheriff on a platform he says will improve community relations. Both Duncan and Sheriff Wright were focused on lowering drug-related crime rates.
One of the things I wanted to do is have like a community advisory board where the community can come together and kind of ask questions, any kind of information that's going on within the communities.
We've been very tough on crime. We've worked on drugs.
Currently, 19 candidates are running for state and county offices. The statewide primaries are going on June the 11th. And coming up on 7 News next tonight, a change is coming for those of you who park in Spartanburg. We're going to share more on the new parking kiosk machines. The city of Spartanburg is beginning to use parking kiosk machines starting in June. Our Colin Riviello talks with the city about why they're making this move and what you drivers can expect.
When you leave one of Spartanburg's 4 parking garages come June 1st, you'll no longer be greeted by a person. Instead, a simple card insert or tap will open up the gates. The city says the new kiosk will streamline the parking experience, allowing vehicles to exit quicker. It'll also allow the city to track which garages are used more than others, but it means there will no longer be a cash option to pay.
In the beginning, no, it will be card only, which again is very similar to what you see in other cities. We are exploring opportunities to allow folks to pay with cash. There's perhaps a way that we could allow folks to pay for parking vouchers with cash that would then be accepted by the machine.
The city says for drivers needing handicap access, each kiosk will have a help button that you can press to get help 24 hours a day. The city says it might consider having a grace period as people get used to these new machines. In Spartanburg, Colin Riviello, 7 News.
And off he goes to the next story. And well, it seems like prices are going up for pretty much everything. Listen to this. The city says the hourly parking rate of 50 cents an hour or the maximum of $4 a day, it's staying the same.
Quiet weather for this evening. We do look for clouds to thicken up toward morning as our next storm system arrives. We'll have a look at what you can expect as we head into the weekend coming up.
A new statue of the Reverend Billy Graham in North Carolina was unveiled today at the U.S. Capitol. The statue honors the man who became known as America's pastor. It stands among the dozens of historic figures in Statuary Hall. Billy Graham spent 6 decades working to unite Americans regardless of religious preference. He rose to fame in the 50s as an evangelist who spoke out against segregation.
Our family is honored that our earthly father will be here in this Capitol, pointing to future generations to our Heavenly Father and His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ.
Graham also worked with Dr. Martin Luther King and advised a dozen American presidents. He died in 2018, a few months short of his 100th birthday, and lived in our area in western North Carolina.
Turning to weather right now, it was a gorgeous day, a needed day to dry out a little bit after some of us had some strong storms yesterday. A lot of sunshine today, some fair weather clouds out there. Those will diminish a bit with the loss of daytime heating, but we're looking to the west. Showers and thunderstorms, some of them severe over parts of southeastern Texas. That's the next wave of moisture. I don't think we're going to see storms to the severity of what they're seeing in Texas. Some of those areas under a tornado watch right now, but we are going to start to see some showers sneaking into the area tomorrow with better chances for some thunderstorms to mix in tomorrow night and into the day on Saturday. And some of that could linger into Sunday as well. Nice weather, lower 80s for temperatures across most of our area right now, at least outside the mountains. It's 85 in Toccoa, 82 in Greenville, 81 in Spartanburg. So far, the official high at GSP today has been 84. 76 right now in Asheville. Your high has been 78. A little bit of a northwest and westerly breeze out of the upstate, running about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's more of a northwesterly wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour in some mountain locations. Winds will die down as we go through the overnight hours, but the clouds will start to thicken up, and I think we'll be looking at a mostly cloudy sky to start the day on Friday. We'll start off dry. As we get toward the late morning and particularly the afternoon, we will start to see moisture working in from the west. This is going to be showery at first. It's not going to be a whole lot of rain, but there's going to be some rain out there. Mostly light rain, but there will be some embedded moderate to heavier showers, and then we'll catch a little bit of a break. But this warm front's then going to move into the area, and it's going to act as a little avenue for low pressure to move along, and that's going to send perhaps some more showers and thunderstorms along it going into the nighttime hours and early Saturday morning. That'll be our better chance to get a few rumbles of thunder. Although that batch does not look like it's going to be overly strong. But with this front still wobbling in the area and us mostly on the warm side of it during the day on Saturday, we could see more showers and thunderstorms working through, and it's that batch that we'll have to watch for maybe some gusty winds out of any stronger storms. The main threat's going to be locally heavy rain. General amounts through the weekend, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches, but locally higher amounts are possible, and that could cause some localized flooding. And most of the area along and southeast of I-85 currently outlook for an isolated severe weather risk through the day on Saturday, with strong gusty winds being the main concern. Partly cloudy overnight, milder than last night, lows in the lower 60s, mid 50s in the mountains. Impact days Friday and Saturday for the shower and thunderstorm chance, highs in the upper 70s. Some lingering showers and thunder could still occur Sunday, and then we dry out Monday, Tuesday, and once that happens, we start to warm back up into the 80s. For the mountains, we're looking at mid 70s pretty much through the weekend. Impact days Friday, Saturday, showers and thunder likely. Still some leftover activity possible Sunday before we start to shake off the rain chances and bring some 80-degree readings back to the mountains starting on Tuesday.
Taylor Swift lyrics there, shake it off.
That wasn't intentional.
I'm sure it
Just
was.
saying that.
I know you're her biggest fan, Dan.
Yeah, one of them.
Okay, ahead in sports, we're going to show you how this team was down, but were they out? Pete's on the way with that. Stick around for sports. And coming up tonight on 7 News at 7, raising awareness about mental health, how a fire department in Pennsylvania is helping firefighters address mental health issues that many face.
Sunshine today, but the clouds are going to thicken up tomorrow, and we will start to see a chance for some showers, maybe a little bit of thunder, especially in the evening. Best chance is going to be the afternoon and evening. Look for highs in the upper 70s. We'll see some mid-70s in the mountains.
All right, Dan, thank you. And thanks for watching 7 News at 6. We're joining Kelsey for 7 News at 7. And of course, there's more news on the way at 11 tonight. Stay up to date on WSPA.com as well.